Ladies and gentlemen, today on our channel Directus, we have the great honor to host the retired Indian Major General, Mr. Rajan Kochar. Good evening, Mr. Kochar. How are you? Thank you.
Good evening, namaste and
Namaste.
kalispera.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. It's a great honor to have you on our channel to discuss the burning issues relating to the latest military conflict between India and Pakistan. So, let's start with my first question. And the first question is that was Operation Sidor a successful operation, and what was India able to achieve through that? Do you believe that Pakistan received the message that India wanted to send?
Thank you, Andres. First of all, my very warm welcome and greetings to the people of Greece. Greece is a great nation, a great friend of India, and we always look forward to speaking to the people of Greece, and especially you, and
Thank you.
a wonderful news channel and your website. I'm told is doing pretty well. Uh, Now, coming to the question of Operation Sindoor, uh, if you remember, 22nd of April, uh, the unfortunate incident in Pahalgam took place, where terrorists, infiltrated into India and carried out the dastardly attack, killing 26 innocent people. And what was uh, disgusting about this incident was in the manner people were singled out in terms of religion, and they were shot at point blank range.
Mhm.
Uh, there were intelligence inputs available to the Indian Intelligence Agency that this was a very closely uh, terrorist strike from across the border.
Mhm.
Uh, we were aware that there are terrorist camps which are existing in Pakistan, and Pakistan's ISI, uh, it is the Inter-Services Intelligence Organization of Pakistan, which works under the Pakistan Army.
Mhm.
They had a major role to play in this entire episode. So, if you remember, if you go back to 2016, we had a Uri attack on an army camp. Then in 2019, we had a strike on a CRPF convoy in Pulwama, where 40 of our soldiers were killed. And now it was a tipping point, though we did a surgical strike, we did a Balakot airstrike, but I think that message did not go loud enough or clear enough for Pakistan to keep on resorting to these kind of terrorist acts in India. Uh, in India. So it was decided to carry out a punitive action, and this operation, as you rightly said, was named uh, Operation Sindoor.
Mhm.
It was basically uh, a military operation which was carried out to target terrorist camps or terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan. The operation was not designed to target any military establishments or military deployments or civilian areas in Pakistan. Uh, it was clearly the terrorist or the terror infrastructure. We had information of 21 such terror infrastructures in Pakistan. So it was decided that a suitable message to Pakistan will be given if we target nine of these. We could have targeted all 21, but we didn't want the escalation ladder to go that much high. So we targeted nine terrorist camps on the 7th of May. This entire operation in the early hours of the morning lasted around 24 minutes.
Mhm.
And basically, it was done with missiles and drones. And the damage assessment, or we got the target damage assessment, we were able to achieve a total destruction of the infrastructure in these 9 areas. And also, some intelligence reports terrorists have been killed. Now, this figure can be contested by Pakistan, but this was what the estimate was coming from Pakistan, seeing the casualties in the hospitals. And, and thereafter, we saw senior army officers of the Pakistan army uh, uh, attending the funeral of some of the top leaders of the Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. These were the two important areas where the headquarters were targeted. Lashkar-e-Toiba at Buridke and Jaish-e-Mohammed at Bhavalpur. And so the whole world saw today that how Pakistan army is enmeshed with the terrorist leaders or terrorist organizations because they were attending the funerals of these people. So the point, I think, for the world to understand through your channel and your country to also understand that how closely the Pakistan establishment or the Pakistan army is working in with these terrorist organizations, which have been declared terrorist organizations and blacklisted by the United Nations. But they exist in Pakistan. And Pakistan is also not on the grey list. Okay, coming ahead to this, when Pakistan saw this sort of a strike by India, Pakistan was advised not to escalate it. We made it very, very clear to Pakistan before we carried out the strike that we are not going to target any of your military establishments and we don't want to escalate it. But Pakistan chose to escalate. Next day, they carried out a drone and a missile strike on our air defenses and some of our military bases. Our air defense systems were very, very robust. They were alert and uh, very competent to thwart all these drone strikes. As a fact, none of their strikes landed up in any of our military bases.
Mhm.
So now, since Pakistan chose to escalate, India had absolutely no option but to escalate. And we also initially targeted their air defense HQ-9 radars and HQ-16 radars from China, which were deployed across the line of control as well as the international border.
Okay.
And our drones, namely the Harop of Israeli origin, was able to successfully neutralize their entire air defense system. And then in the next night, Pakistan chose to again launch a drone strike on our military bases, this time with drones which were heavily armed. We were able to neutralize all the drones. None of them reached our areas. And thereafter, since every day the escalation ladder was increasing, the Indian Armed Forces also carried out a retaliation in the daytime the next day on Pakistani air bases.
Mm.
through missiles and drones.
Yeah.
We targeted, Pakistan has got 13 operational air bases. We targeted 11 of them and successfully neutralized uh, 8 of them and caused heavy damage onto the hangars, onto the runways, onto the command and control centers, onto the surveillance and the radar centers, which are there in that airbase itself. Two prominent air bases which were targeted was Sargodha and Noor Khan. Pakistan Army headquarters, known as the General Headquarters of Pakistan, GHQ. Now, that was a setback to the psyche of Pakistan because even in 1971 war, we never reached Rawalpindi.
Mhm.
So this was the first time we reached Rawalpindi and we targeted, which caused quite a flutter in Pakistan,
Yeah.
and especially among the Pakistan military. Uh, there was also, since our aircrafts were in the air, and we used Rafale also, we used our Sukhoi also, and our big 29. Pakistanis also got their Air Force airborne.
Mm.
And there was uh, not exactly a dog because we did not cross the international border. Our aircrafts were about 100 kilometers, 80 to 100 kilometers on our side of the boundary, and Pakistani aircrafts were also on their side of the boundary. So, Pakistani claims that it shot down one or two of our aircrafts. We have denied the claim. As a matter of fact, uh, we have said that around three Pakistani aircrafts were uh, destroyed.
I wanted to ask you
So,
about
actually,
that.
what happens in war
I wanted to ask you about this.
is
We have seen so much propaganda from Turkish, Pakistani, Chinese media against India, especially against your force capability. In fact, without evidence sources from these countries, they say that India lost many Rafale aircrafts. And this is propaganda. What is your response about this propaganda coming from those countries? Why this propaganda against India? They are saying some Pakistani media that India lost 10 aircrafts of Rafale. Why they are saying this?
uh, you see, I tell you why. Because Pakistan lost the narrative in this war,
Hmm.
in this 4 day war.
Yeah,
The way Pakistan air bases were targeted,
yeah,
nine terrorist sites were attacked. Pakistan lost about 40 to 45 of its your Air Force officers and men
okay.
in one of the strikes. So they had to build up a narrative
Hmm.
to counter this because you have to remember one thing that Pakistan military is worshipped by the people of Pakistan
Yeah.
and they cannot lose face in front of their own people.
Hmm.
So they have to project to the world that the war was won by Pakistan.
Yeah.
So this narrative, and Pakistan is very, very, I think, good in, I would say that, I have to admit it, in strategic communication and in building up the war of narratives.
Hmm. Okay.
And that is why Pakistan devotes a lot of time and energy on a narrative building, especially they have an organization called the DGISPR,
Mm-hmm.
which takes on this entire thing. And that is why today we are sending a parliamentary delegation to 36 countries. 59 members of parliament have been divided into 7 groups.
Okay.
We are going to 36 countries to tell them the truth, to tell them this disinformation campaign by Pakistan is fake, and they are trying to uh, shape public opinion without facts. So, this parliamentary delegation is going to take all the satellite images, entire factual details, Pakistani media clippings where Pakistani army officers are attending the funeral of the terrorist leaders. We are going to tell the world that it is high time now you recognize Pakistan as a terrorist state.
Yep.
A state sponsored terrorism is being orchestrated by Pakistan. And remember one thing, it's a nuclear power.
Mm. Mm.
We are sitting on a tinder box
Yep.
which can explode any day. And the whole world will be affected. Let me tell you, it won't be India and Pakistan alone. So world has to realize this today, that please don't encourage Pakistan by giving them IMF loans and World Bank assistance. And because this money which they are getting from IMF is being used to further terrorist activities across Pakistan. And a time has come now where the world has to unite
Yep.
to fight terrorism. Because if I'll give you interesting piece of information, any terrorist activity in any part of the world, you can carry out a research. What I'm saying, I'm not speaking off the cuff. Any terrorist activity across the world has a link with Pakistan,
Mm.
because ISIS is active here, Lashkar-e Toiba, Al Qaeda, all these groups are active in this region.
Also, we have seen Hamas.
And
We have seen Hamas also.
and Hamas,
Yes, some
yeah,
members.
yeah, yeah, Hamas
Recently.
also.
Yep.
Andres, I mean, the people here have to understand
Yep.
that we are dealing with a rogue state, and it is high time to rein in this rogue state, because if we don't do it now, I think it will be too late. USA also has to understand, Russia also has to understand, China also has to understand. Because if you are encouraging a country like this in these kind of activities for your own self-interest, for your own national interest, please don't keep your national interest above the interest of humanity, above the interest of world peace.
Mm.
Because today we have seen in Ukraine and Russia and in the West Bank, Israel and the Palestinians, there is no end to war. Because once you start a war, you can't end it. It's very easy to start a war, but very, very difficult to end the war. And that is why I would say that India has applied great restraint to finish this war in 4 days, because it could have actually carried on for months then.
Yeah.
And then you never know, it may have gone nuclear also. So that is the major which I want to appeal
And
to the leaders of the world, that it is high time you reign in Pakistan. And if you are able to reign in Pakistan, then you will be able to bring peace in this region.
And also, Mr.
Thank you, Andres.
Kondar, we have seen in the Pakistani attacks against India that Turkish drones played a central role. Now, as I'm seeing, there is a big wave against Turkey in India. Boycott Turkey is the first trend in all Indian social media. So, which measures will India take against Turkey and against its interference in the region and in Pakistan? We have seen Turkey also to be in the island of Maldives, or also in Bangladesh, in Pakistan. Turkey and Pakistan have a great cooperation with drones. Turkey sends drones to Pakistan, Akinji, Bayraktar, with some cargo, and Turkish Airlines played a role. So, which measures will take India against Turkey? Because as a Greek, I want to know which measures will take against
Yes.
Turkey.
And Andres, I will speak the truth. I will not you hold myself when I talk about Turkey,
Yep.
Turkey as we call it. Uh, Erdogan has to realize that he is playing against fire. He is playing against the reputation of his own country by supporting a terrorist state because he is also being clubbed along with Pakistan and can also be called a terrorist state because you are helping Pakistan to spread terrorism. Turkey has been helping Pakistan over the years.
Yep.
Turkey has been helping Pakistan in the missile program. Turkey has been helping Pakistan with their warships and in the submarines program of Pakistan. Turkey has been supplying ammunition to Pakistan. Turkey has been supplying drones to Pakistan, Bayraktar drone, TB2, Akinci drones, and other drones also, Songar drones.
Yeah.
We have shot down Turkish drones, and we have the proof to suggest that Turkey has been helping Pakistan, though Erdogan has made a public statement that he is not helping Pakistan, but uh, we have proved to suggest that is not the fact. Next is, has Turkey forgotten 2023 when there was an earthquake there and the Indians were the first responders, the first people to reach there with all the medical aid, with all oxygen, with all medicine, doctors, and our medical staff was there in Turkey. I think Turkey has forgotten all that. So that shows a true character of the leader of that nation and his own selfish gains. So why is Turkey helping Pakistan? Because Pakistan has the
Mm. Yep.
nuclear technology.
Yep. Yep.
Turkey wants to become a nuclear power because Erdogan is trying to go back to the Ottoman Empire, where once upon a time Turkey was ruling the entire Europe. He wants that to happen again. It's his dream. And he wants to become nuclear.
Yep.
He wants to be recognized as the leader of the Islamic world. And that is why he is helping the Pakistan. Otherwise, I don't see any reason. Because Pakistan can't give him anything else. Because Pakistan is a bankrupt state. The economic growth of Pakistan, as given by World Bank and IMF, is only 2.7% economic growth.
Mm.
50% of the Pakistan's budget is through debt financing. 18 lakhs of people of Pakistan sleep hungry every day.
Mm. Yep.
These are not my statistics.
Yep.
These are statistics by world independent organizations.
Yep.
Pakistan is having a problem in Balochistan. Pakistan is having a problem in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Pakistan has spoiled its relations with Afghanistan. Where is Pakistan heading? So Turkey is not seeing the writing on the wall. And now what happens is that Turkey has crossed the red line with India. The public sentiment, though there is no government statement from India so far, I think will come in the course of time. But public sentiments are going very high against Turkey. 60% of the bookings
Yeah.
to Turkey and Azerbaijan also, I will,
Azerbaijan also.
another country.
Yep.
60% of the bookings were cancelled on the first day itself. Today, they have an organization which looks after our cargo handling on a number of airports in India. The security certificate has been withdrawn to that organization. And I believe that organization, uh, Erdogan's daughter has a stake in that organization.
And
People
don't,
are talking or
uh,
coming in the media.
yeah, yeah. Just, do you believe, this is my last question, do you believe that it's time for stronger military and economic cooperation between Greece, Cyprus, and India? Will the Indian presence in the Mediterranean and in the Aegean Sea give an emphatic response to Turkey, which Turkey, as you know, is provoking Greece and Cyprus? And do you believe that it's time now, it's a big time for Greece and India to come closer?
Uh, Andres, I totally agree with you. Time has come for the reawakening of the Greece-India ties.
Mhm.
Things have happened in the last 2, 3 years, I think. Prime ministers have visited each other's country. Your prime minister came to India after 16 years.
Yeah,
So that was a very great beginning. There is a lot of defense cooperation, maritime, shipping, economic going on between India and Turkey. And I would like this bilateral trade, which is at $2 billion today between Greece and India, to be doubled
yeah,
in a couple of years. We need to. We have already started on a defense cooperation agreement. The action has already been done. A more number of joint military exercises we need to do with each other, and uh, Greece has to be part of our defense ecosystem, our defense corridors in Uttar Pradesh. We have invited Greece to come and work with us on joint ventures. We want to strengthen Greece.
yeah,
We want Greece to get BrahMos, to get Akash,
yes,
to get Akash Tir, our air defense system, which has proved to be much better than the Iron Dome of Israel. Because here is the case to make Greece strong so that Greece can stand against Turkey.
yeah,
And Turkey cannot bully Greece. And especially in your Aragon Sea area, we find that he is not allowing you access to your own economic zones, exclusive economic zones. He is trying to carry out oil and gas you drilling in your areas.
hmm,
So unless you are stronger to repel this kind of uh, uh, unilateral actions by Turkey, and you can count India as a very, very close and a great friend of yours. It is now high time to get into a comprehensive strategic partnership with India, share technology with each other. India can actually give you a very good cyber, space technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, data analytics. We can share the entire thing with you. We can make you stronger, and it has to be a win situation. Greece can contribute a lot to strengthening of India in its shipping infrastructure, because Greece is doing very well on the shipping front.
yeah,
So we can recognize each other's strengths and contribute to make each other much stronger to give an answer to our adversaries. And let me tell you, Andres, we are not like Chinese.
hmm,
Chinese cannot be trusted. Let me tell you,
yes,
whatever be your experience with China and Greece, because China has invested heavily in Greece, and I would like to tell you that these people cannot be trusted, but you can trust Indians.
of course.
We have a common culture with each other. let's increase the people to people contact. I am, telling my friends, start planning your holidays to Greece.
Great.
Let us invite them over to our country and see the diverse heritage and the culture of our country. Beautiful places in Goa, Lakshadweep, Andamans, hill stations, Jammu and Kashmir, Manali, Himachal, spiritual centers in Tamil Nadu, Bangalore. So let's uh, get into this act of getting people to people closer, because I believe only 14,000 is our Indian diaspora in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to have much more,
Yep.
and we need to actually understand each other better. And I'm sure the kind of urgency which Greece is also showing now, and the urgency which India is also showing now, we can take this relationship to the next level.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Kochar, thank you so much. Great pleasure for me to be here in our podcast, and I believe to speak again on the future. Thank you so much.
Yes, it'll be always a pleasure, Andres. And I'm really grateful to you that you invited me over to come to your show and speak to you, and also speak to the people of Greece. And I'm sure that things will happen in a very, very positive manner, and you will be able to strengthen each other.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.